South African Council of Educators, SACE, has launched a program that focuses specifically on empowering women in the teaching profession. The organization says that it recognizes the significance of women empowerment, shared power, liberatory environment, and in the profession. And now to tell us more about the program, we're now joined via Zoom by Sithabile Mazibuko, continuing professional teacher development at the South African Council for Educators. A very good afternoon to you, ma'am. Thanks very much for joining us here on SABC News.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers.
I want to start with some statistics here as we talk about women in the profession of teaching. In June 2018, there were 387,328 teachers and principals on the government's payroll. Women made up 72.5% of state-paid teachers, but on the back of that, only 37.3% of principals. As an organization, talk to us then about the work that you're doing to change the narrative and make it possible for women in the industry, in the teaching industry, to indeed get leadership positions within the profession.
Thank you very much. SACE is intensifying its call upon the nation to respect the dignity and rights of women in the teaching profession as part of human rights. As it is, we have initiated a SWIM, which is SACE Women in Management. And the SWIM was initiated in 2021, and it was launched. It was also launched in 2021 in October, which is the Teachers' Month. And as SACE, we've been conducting women empowerment programs, sessions, especially in KZN, mainly focusing in district. As it is, as part of Women's Month campaign, SACE is currently implementing women's programs throughout the country. As we speak, our CEO, Ms. Ella Mokhalane, is in Western Cape, capacitating women, supporting women, and encouraging them to demonstrate resilience as professionals.
Yeah. Let's talk then about some of the challenges that are faced by women and how SACE is indeed trying to respond to some of those challenges. And I would assume that some of those challenges are some of the hindrances as to why we're not seeing as many women as we should in leadership positions as principals, for example.
We cannot ignore the fact that most women are still experiencing discrimination and they are being undermined. Some are being threatened in various ways, and others are being killed for promotional posts. And there is still, that mentality of not accepting women in management. As SACE is announcing a project of writing a book by women in teaching profession, in collaboration with the KwaZulu-Natal Authors Forum, which is called WAF. And the book will mainly focus on success stories, best practices, and struggles, and how those should be addressed. We understand that it still becomes difficult to accept women as leaders in our country. So as women, we also encourage them to become resilient and make sure that they stand their ground when it comes into their leadership position.
Yeah, and how many women have you reached so far with this program that you are rolling out? And do you believe that you will make a sort of a difference? And I'd like to say on the back of that, it is in fact partly a teacher's role also to change narratives within society. Are there within the teaching scope ways in which teachers are able to talk about women empowerment, the fact that women can be in leadership positions? I mean, the fact that they are themselves struggling to get into leadership position is really concerning to me, because it makes me wonder what's being then taught to children in the classroom about these dynamics, these male-female dynamics.
Since SWIM was launched in 2021, we've covered plus or minus 2,000 women, capacitating them on SACE matters and on different roles, giving them an opportunity to share their best practices and challenges that they are faced with as women. With the capacity building that they are getting, we do not doubt in our minds that definitely they will become best women in leadership, and a lot of things that is going to change.
All right. Thanks very much for giving us your time then as we have these conversations during Women's Month. That is Sithabile Mazibuko, continuing professional teachers development at the South African Council for Educators, talking to us, of course, about the issue of women in teaching not being able really to get into those leadership positions.